The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. The novel tells the story of Ashoke and Ashima Ganguli, a Bengali couple who moved to the United States in the 1960s. They are newlyweds, and the move to America is a major change for them. Ashoke has come to the US to pursue his studies in engineering, while Ashima is a homemaker who is struggling to adapt to life in a foreign country. As the couple settles into their new life, they discover that they are expecting their first child. Ashima is hesitant to give birth in the US, as she is unsure of the medical system and is missing the support of her family and community back in Calcutta. However, she goes through with the delivery, and they have a son. When it comes time to name their child, the couple faces a dilemma. They are traditional Bengalis, and it is customary in their culture to name a child after a grandparent or other family member. However, they are also living in a new country, and they want to give their child a name that will help him fit in with American society. After much consideration, they decide to name their son Gogol, after the Russian author Nikolai Gogol. Ashoke had been reading one of Gogol's books when he was involved in a train accident that nearly took his life, and he sees the name as a symbol of his survival and the beginning of a new life in America. Gogol grows up in America and struggles to reconcile his Indian heritage with his American upbringing. He is embarrassed by his name and feels like an outsider in both cultures. He tries to distance himself from his family and his heritage, going by the name Nikhil and dating only American women. Throughout the novel, we also meet other characters who play important roles in Gogol's life. Maxine is an American woman whom Gogol dates for a time, but their relationship is short-lived. Moshumi is an old family friend who marries Gogol but then has an affair with an old flame, causing their marriage to fall apart. One of the key themes of the novel is the immigrant experience, and Lahiri masterfully portrays the challenges faced by immigrants and their families as they try to adjust to life in a new country. Ashima and Ashoke struggle with homesickness, cultural differences, and a lack of community in the US, while Gogol struggles with his identity and his place in the world. As the novel progresses, we see Gogol begin to embrace his Indian heritage and come to terms with his name. The death of his father is a turning point in his life, and he realizes the importance of family and community in shaping who he is as a person. Overall, The Namesake is a rich and complex novel that explores important themes such as identity, culture, and belonging. Lahiri's writing is beautiful and insightful, and her characters are vividly drawn and deeply human. It is a poignant meditation on the immigrant experience and a powerful story about the search for identity and meaning in a complex and ever-changing world. Characters: Ashoke Ganguli, a Bengali man who moves to the United States to pursue his studies in engineering. He is reserved and introspective, and he is haunted by a near-death experience he had as a young man. He becomes a professor at a university in Massachusetts and is a loving husband and father. Ashima Ganguli, Ashoke's wife and a homemaker. She is more outgoing and sociable than her husband, but she struggles to adapt to life in America. She misses her family and friends back in Calcutta and feels like an outsider in the US. She is a loving and devoted mother to her children. Gogol, Nikhil Ganguli, the couple's firstborn child. He is named Gogol after the Russian author Nikolai Gogol, but he goes by the name Nikhil as he gets older. He is a sensitive and introspective child who struggles with his identity as an Indian American. He distances himself from his family and culture as he grows older, but he eventually learns to embrace his heritage. Maxine Ratliff, an American woman who Gogol dates briefly in college. She is outgoing and confident, and she introduces Gogol to new experiences and perspectives. Moshumi Mazumdar, a childhood friend of Gogol's who marries him but then has an affair with an old flame. She is smart and ambitious but ultimately unhappy with her life choices. Incidents: Ashoke's near-death experience. As a young man, Ashoke is involved in a train accident in India that nearly takes his life. He survives thanks to a copy of The Overcoat by Nikolai Gogol, which he was reading at the time of the accident. This incident shapes his life and influences the naming of his firstborn child. Gogol's struggle with his name. Gogol is embarrassed by his name and feels like an outsider in both Indian and American cultures. He changes his name to Nikhil in college and tries to distance himself from his family and heritage. Gogol's relationships. Gogol dates several women throughout the novel, including Maxine and Moshumi. His relationships are complicated by his identity issues and his reluctance to fully embrace his Indian heritage. Ashoke's death. Ashoke dies suddenly while on a trip to India. His death is a turning point in Gogol's life, and it forces him to confront his feelings about his family and culture. Gogol's reconciliation with his heritage. After his father's death, Gogol begins to reconnect with his Indian roots. He starts using his birth name again and travels to India to learn more about his family's history. He also begins to appreciate the importance of family and community in his life. The Namesake, by Jhumpa Lahiri, is a poignant and beautifully written novel that explores the themes of identity, cultural assimilation, and family. Through the story of the Ganguli family, Lahiri captures the struggles and triumphs of first-generation immigrants and their children as they navigate the complexities of life in America. The characters are richly drawn and complex, and their journeys are both heartbreaking and uplifting. From Ashoke's near-death experience and Gogol's struggle with his name to Moshumi's affair and Ashoke's sudden death, the novel is filled with moments of joy and sorrow, love and loss. Lahiri's writing is evocative and lyrical, and she captures the nuances of both Indian and American cultures with sensitivity and insight. Her portrayal of the immigrant experience is both honest and empathetic, and she invites readers to explore the complexities of identity and belonging in a multicultural society. Overall, The Namesake is a masterful work of fiction that explores universal themes with nuance and grace. It is a novel that will resonate with readers of all backgrounds and ages, and it is a testament to the power of storytelling to illuminate the human experience. Please like, share and subscribe our channel for more book summaries.